Hello,
Hey.
crypto heads. What's going on? I don't know what to say after that, but
Yep. You nailed it.
yeah. So tonight we have Angel, and we got Denise up there too. I know, oh, wrong one. And sorry, I'm a little bit off, but I believe Angel's a devout Browns fan, which I really appreciate.
Are you kidding me? No.
No, she's one of those Steeler fans, but that's all right.
Wah, wah. We
hate
still
that
love
y'all have
you.
Baker. I hate that you have Baker. I hate it. Hate it. Love me some Baker.
But I don't know. I'm gonna hand it off to Denise because my head's not clear. But
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
you guys see Goose is missing.
Yep, it's messed us all up.
We have I don't know. He'll probably be here soon. We're not
Mhm.
sure, but he's been super busy at work, so we'll let it slide this time. I think Goose would be very offended, Angel, if we didn't ask you for your origin story.
Yes.
What do you mean my origin?
What got you into the paranormal kind of thing? Then
how did it all start for you?
Yeah.
My mom, pretty much. My mom and her sisters. I grew up around, I was blessed because you hear a lot of stories, people talk about the paranormal when they were kids and they got shunned or, told not to believe it, that kind of thing. Exact opposite in my house. My mom was like, she was connected to the spirit world and her sisters were, and I was kind of in it all my life. But my first experience was I was 8 and I was in my mom's room and I was getting ready to get into her jewelry box, which is forbidden. Should have known better, but she was outside with the neighbor. I thought, oh, here's my chance, So I went in there and then I'm looking, I lifted up the lid and I could see in the mirror in her vanity something kind of behind me, like a misty, foggy thing. And I wasn't sure what I was looking at. So I turned around and I looked. And the longer I looked, it started, the mist like turned into a man standing there. And the more I looked, the clearer he got. And he was completely transparent the whole time. But I could make out what, his details. So he kind of crossed his arms and looked at me and gave me like a real stern look. What are you about to do? You shouldn't be doing that.
Right.
And it was intimidating. And I was like, okay. So I closed the lid and I walked out. And as I was walking out, my mom comes back in and she says, what were you doing?
Oh man, you got told on.
She's like, what were you doing? And I said, I was looking at your jewelry. She said, you're not acting right. Did you touch something? And I was like, no, I didn't get the chance. And I told her what I saw. And she kind of got this weird look on her face. And she says, hold on a minute. She grabs a photo album. She brings a photo album to me. And she points out to this man. She says, is this who you saw? I said, yeah. I was like, he had white hair, though. He had dark hair in the picture. But I said, when I saw him, he had white hair. She says, okay. She started acting weird, which wasn't normal for my mom. She gets on the phone. I hear her and she calls my Aunt Shirley and I can hear them talking in the kitchen on the phone. And she says, I hear my mom say to my aunt, she says, I'm not sure what's going on, but somebody needs to get to the hospital and see if he's still alive. So they get off the phone. She comes out and my mom sits down next to me and she says, what were you doing when you saw this person? I said, well, who is he? She's Angel, that's your granddad. I'd never met him. So, I didn't know. And she says, what were you doing when he showed up? So I had to confess because by this point she was freaking out. She makes me freak out. So I'm like, okay, I got to confess something's not right here. So I told her what I was doing and she kind of chuckled and she says, so he pretty much gave you a look, you shouldn't be doing that. And I was like, yeah, pretty much. And I said, is that guy dead? Because I didn't know him. So I just referred to him as that guy. And she said, I don't know yet. Even as a kid, I thought that response was strange. About 5 minutes later, the phone rang. She answered it. It was my Aunt Shirley. My my Aunt Janet was at the hospital where this man was, my granddad, and he had passed away about 10 minutes before all of this conversation was going on. So I actually saw him while he was still alive. He hadn't passed yet, but I saw his spirit. So I'm covered in goosebumps. So my mom was
I got goosebumps right now.
Yeah. So I think that's what freaked my mom out, was the fact that I saw somebody before they actually, left their vessel. So
was he like on life support or something, or?
I'm not sure. He had gotten pneumonia. He was in the war and he had gotten some kind of lung disease. And that's what was killing him. I didn't know him because from what I understood later on in life, he wasn't the nicest of people. So my mom kind of kept me away from him.
Mm-hmm.
So he was dying. I don't think he was on life support or anything like that. He had been in the hospital for 2 weeks. I found out later as an adult, he had been in there for 2 weeks. They weren't sure when he was going to expire. They just told the girls, because he had 3 daughters, including my mom, just be ready. We don't know when it's going to happen, but be ready. So,
wow.
Yeah, it was,
amazing.
that was my first experience.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And to have it be such an intense experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm, looking back, I'm glad I didn't know him, because that probably would have really freaked me out and might have turned me against, the paranormal, because I had a connection to him. I didn't have a connection with this man. It was just somebody that was giving me a dirty look because I was about to do something bad.
Right.
So,
wow.
That's amazing.
I just asked because when my stepdad passed away, he was on life support for 2 days. And my cousin, who is a psychic, came to the hospital and she said, he's already gone, because she could see him standing in the room. The machines were keeping his body alive, but she's like, he's already gone. And he said to take care of your little brat because he loved my son. So, I'm a firm believer that, just because your body is being kept alive doesn't mean, you're still there with it.
You're still attached, right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So what else? I mean, you said that the paranormal was part of your childhood.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of was mine too. We used to have like psychic parties in my family. Like, we would have a psychic come to the house and everybody would get readings and stuff.
Right.
Like, what kind of stuff would you guys do? Were you allowed to be, right?
Well, my mom was the psychic that everybody came to. So the parties were at my house.
Nice.
They would have seances and things like that. My mom could tap into the spirit world and draw images and spirits that she saw, and she could also write messages through them. She was really fantastic with what she could do with the spirit. I have some gifts that she had, but I can't draw for the life of me. I can't. They would be 6 and it would be really bad. it would
be like stick figures.
Respectful to the spirit showing themselves. I'm like, nah, I won't do that. But yeah, I inherited some of the gifts that her and the other sisters had. So it's definitely helped me on my path.
Yeah, for sure. It's so nice to have somebody that you can ask questions to,
Yeah. A lot of people don't get that.
Yeah, I don't have those kind of abilities. I used to see things when I was little, and my mom would just brush it off like, oh, it's just your eyes playing tricks on you, whatever. Like, I feel like it would have been nice to have somebody be like, oh, okay, so what did he look like? You know what I mean? Like, just embrace it.
Like, what they look like? Did you smell anything? How'd you feel?
Yeah, that's so cool.
It's like instant with her. So yeah,
that's
I have
so
no
cool.
fear because of her. Yeah.
So was she excited the first, like, I mean, except for the fact that it was, your grandfather, was she like excited that you have those abilities? Did she want to like embrace it and get you into all of it?
Oh, the sisters, that she had them over that following weekend. He died on a Tuesday she had them at the house on Friday, and they did kind of this initiation thing where, we just sat down at the table and they asked for divine protection for my journey on this, because they knew what my life was going to be from there on,
Mm-hmm.
things and hearing things, and they wanted me to be prepared for it. So yeah, it wasn't long before they were like, yes, let's go. Yeah.
That's so
That's
cool.
pretty cool, though, man.
Yeah.
We just didn't talk about the paranormal that much in my family. Nobody really denied it or said anything about it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I mean, it was just a regular thing. My dad loves the show now, but it was just like, it wasn't really brought up at all.
Mm.
I swear I walked downstairs and my mom and her friends were having a seance in our dining room, but I don't think that they knew what they were doing. So probably would explain a lot of the shit that I saw in my house.
Yeah, calling everybody in.
Right. And
hey,
then
come to our house.
Yeah. And then I had something come and hit me in my face while I was sleeping. Like I woke up and then was looking around and something hit me in the face. And then my mom has the audacity to be like, oh, maybe you were just sleeping and you hit yourself in the face. And she would make excuses for it. And I'm like, you did this. You did this. You brought these people here. Like, how are you going to try to deny it?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it was part of our family, but it was kind of a hidden thing other than the psychic parties. My mom told us not to have Ouija boards, but then she had one, that kind of thing. But,
oh yeah, we played with Ouija boards all the time. Like that was, nobody knew what they were doing. We'd be out in some field, just playing with a Ouija board with no idea what we were doing. No idea.
Right? It's fine. We also rode bikes with helmets and all kinds of shit, so it's fine. So I did, before the show, I put some pictures on here that I want you to talk about, Angel.
Okay.
Oh no, where did they go? Oh, here we go. Let's talk about this one first.
The celebrity ghost hunt. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm excited. A little nervous, but excited for this. Yeah. It's for DegCon in October. Yeah.
That'll be exciting.
I didn't see where was it at.
Been there.
I didn't get to see the.
It's at the Masonic Temple in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Oh, okay.
Which is literally like a block up from the Grand Wayne Center where DegCon's going to be held. So it's like within walking distance and everything. So everybody that's
pretty cool.
The event doesn't have to go far. Yeah. And this place is amazing.
That's my God. Cool. What are you nervous about?
Just because I don't like to be the one in charge kind of person, you know what I mean? Because especially when it comes to paranormal, like when I'm getting ready to investigate, a little switch clicks on, and some people refer to it as the bitch switch, because I get very professional when it comes to investigating. Like I get, I don't allow disrespect, I don't allow joking around and just being an ass, pretty much, you know what I mean? You're there for a reason, so let's do this, this is not a game. That kind of that's what goes through my mind, and I don't want to be in charge because the first person that is disrespectful, or I'm like out, like there's not going to be no shenanigans going on. But that's why
no tomfoolery.
You know what I mean? He knows I'm gonna hold a professional event, so I'm a little nervous about that, because I'm like, I don't want to yell at anybody, but I can't guarantee that, you push my button and I'm not going to yell at you and scold you. So, yeah, I mean,
there's nice ways to yell at people. You'll be fine.
Right.
Denise does it with a smile.
Yeah.
Usually I don't do public hunts. I always do the private ones. So I have my people with me. So they know how I am, and if I get a little too, too professional, they're like, chill out, bitch.
Right.
Like just
Right.
chill out. We're
Take it
good.
down a little bit. Yeah.
So,
Well,
but
hopefully you could
yeah,
have somebody with you that'll tell you.
I do. Yeah, I pulled some of my teammates with me
Oh,
to do the
good.
contest so they can keep me in check a little bit with this. So then once I get through it, then I'll know what to expect next year. It's just that
Right.
initial, I don't do public hunts to begin with, so to actually head up one,
Yeah.
a little challenging for me, but
Yeah.
I can do it. I know I can do it. It just got to get through it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's hard too. We talk about, because I do them at Medicine Seminary, and Goose and Heisenberg have done them all over the place. It's hard because it feels like people expect things to be like,
Yeah.
super active and all this stuff's going to be happening and whatever. And then when you're like leading the investigation and there's like nothing going on, it's really hard because you feel bad. Like you guys are
Right.
here for
It's
a
a lot of
reason.
pressure.
Right.
Yeah.
It is a lot of pressure and there's nothing I could do about it. I always feel like psychics benefit in that situation though. Here's why I think you'll be okay. Because if things are quiet, then you just talk about things you have seen or things, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
you just tell stories. You know what I mean? People are very interested in your stories. So at least you have that where if it's quiet, you can tell your stories. If it's quiet, I'm just like,
Yeah,
so
all
how
I
about
got is
that
lame
weather?
jokes.
Right.
That's
See,
all I got is lame jokes in that time. I'm like, oh, so what's up, guys?
right.
Like I become a comedian up there.
Yeah. I expect that, and then I try, when I do lectures or even when I'm in my books that I write, I push that idea that it's not all fun and games.
Mhm.
There's not always going to be, excitement. You can sit in a building for 8 hours and get absolutely nothing other than
Right.
a feeling. That's the way of it. That's
Right.
reality. You know what I mean? People
But
don't want
it's
to hear that, but
and then people just
it really
watch
is.
TV. They watch the shows on TV or even the underground stuff. Like that's still edited and shortened
Edited.
and
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. So they take
Hey,
out.
Goose Bear, there you are.
Sup? Hey, continue.
We were talking about the pressures of public hunts.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It takes it takes, excuse me, kind of takes the fun out of it a little bit because you're just, everybody's looking at you like wanting you to make something happen, and
Right.
Right.
that's not the way it works. Not the way
Well,
it
that's
works
the
at all.
great
Yeah.
thing about this hunt because the celebrities that I brought on to help me do this, there's going to be enough of us that there's not going to be a dull moment. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So
Right.
that's making me feel a lot less nervous about it, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Hey Ray, you should have been here. I totally butchered the beginning of the show because I can't think clearly.
He did not. He always says shit like that. He did fine.
I was like, yeah, we're the crypto paranormal happy hour, and
That's right. I'd still butcher our title all the time. So.
for a long time I did call it the crypto paranormal show. That's how that.
Nice.
Anyway, sorry, I'm late, people. I was frothing my coffee. It takes about.
Oh my god.
I'm just kidding.
You're not kidding.
No,
No,
I'm
you
not.
weren't.
Yeah.
No, I didn't want. I walked in about, what time is it now? Like 8 o'clock, right on the dot, and my wife's like, "You're not doing anything until you eat dinner,"
Oh.
because she knew I hadn't eaten all day. So, and then she made goulash, so I had to eat. Right?
Oh. Yeah. It's probably not as
What's
So here I
good.
am.
goulash?
It's like stewed meat with like a tomato-based sauce, and she served it on rice. It's delicious. I mean, there's a lot more to it than that, but I don't make it, so I don't know. I just eat it. It's
I like to
delicious.
say the word.
Yeah.
Goulash. So I'm here. Sorry, guys. Thank you for holding down the fort. Appreciate it.
I did terrible. Denise was the rock star
Oh
again.
my gosh.
And I don't expect any more, man.
Yeah, we did find out that Angel is a Browns fan, though. She's
Yes.
been lying the whole time about being a Steelers fan.
She is
I don't
my
understand.
she is my steel curtain sister.
Oh yeah, baby.
Go Stillers.
Woo, here we go, baby. Did you
Go
hear
down
about
the
what?
Yeah.
Did you hear about what?
No.
Yeah, man. Highest defensive player paid. He got his money today.
Nice.
Yep,
He's
I'm
ours.
so happy for him.
Let's go downtown to Permanis and celebrate the Stillers, huh?
Oh
like, no.
gosh.
He's shaking his head.
All right. Sorry for throwing everybody off. The wheels have already fallen off because I showed up. So
You know, that's pretty much the basic thing of every show. But
Right.
it's not the fact that you're here or not.
Ray shows up so much for the paranormal talk.
We did good
I had
for a
already
bit.
started to slide that over.
Two topics that I could talk about all day is paranormal and football, so we're good.
There you
Nice.
go.
I
Nice.
just like
Yeah,
your
I'm-
post ones that you're like, it's not just a game. It's.
Yeah.
Well,
I
you
felt
know-
the same way. I was like, yes, that's so true.
No, I wanted to make sure we got her on because obviously DeadCon is coming up and she's
Yeah.
Yeah,
a big obviously
That's
look
what-
at her sweatshirt.
yeah. We
that's why
saw
we
a
were
poster and
talking about
everything.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's freezing here, so
So yeah, between that and I know actual season starts this weekend, there's no way we'd be getting her on after this week. So
Yeah, true.
lucky it's Tom Brady tonight.
oh, that's right, yeah.
I can't stand him.
Oh no.
So I'm good with like kind of missing that part of the game, so I'm good. I hope Dallas kicks their ass. That's all I know.
There you go. Very cool.
Yeah.
So what did I miss about, as far as DeadCon? What are we looking at? It looks amazing. I was supposed to be there. I'm just not going to be able to make it this year.
I know it sucks that you're not going to be there, but this thing, holy crap, man! It just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
I see that.
We have like 130 celebrities, 180 vending tables. Friday we got the VIP meet and greet with all the celebrities, and then Shock Rock concert, then the celebrity ghost hunt. That's all Friday.
Oh my
And
gosh.
then Saturday, the main event opens at 10 o'clock in the morning, and we're open
Wow.
till 9. And we elected to stay open later because they have a zombie walk in Fort Wayne. So there's
Nice.
like between 15 and 20,000 people that are going to
Wow.
be dressed up for like zombies.
Yeah.
And they walk, I'm not sure how many blocks that they walk, but their end game comes down to the Grand Wayne Center. So these
Oh,
15
wow.
to 20,000 people are literally going to be herded like
Yeah.
sheep
Yeah, like
down
zombies.
to our main event on
Yeah.
Saturday.
I mean, that is a thing in Walking Dead. The herd is
Yeah.
going to.
Oh my gosh, it's
I
awesome.
could just imagine running into that, and I'd be like scared shitless. I'd be running
Right.
way down the street, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
He's
You
like
don't
at the
know
front
about
door
it.
getting his tickets, his general admission tickets, and he sees them come. He's like, nope. I
Yeah.
don't think he'd be going to anything called DeadCon anyways, to be honest with you.
That's probably true.
No, he'd be there with us for paranormal stuff. He just would like have his blinders on and not look at anything.
Right.
Well, scary stuff. No.
That's crazy. That's going to be insane even if half of them come in to the event.
Yeah,
Right,
I would totally flip out.
Right.
Yeah. And they
I feel
didn't
like
have it last
an
year,
announcement
obviously.
should be made on the PA
Yeah.
system or something. Like, just
Like,
so you
they're coming,
know,
They're coming.
like, these are real zombies. Listen, it's crazy times right now. If I was at a place and there was 10,000 zombies all
Yeah.
of a sudden walked in, like that might be scary.
I'd be like, here comes Lambda. Here comes the Lambda right behind Delta.
You never know.
Right. But no, I mean, was
never
that
know.
planned? I mean, was there some kind of like ingenious, dastardly plan to have this at the same time? I mean, it seems
Yeah, I
awfully
mean,
convenient.
Eric talked to the city and just collaborated with them, and they were all about us having our event during the same time. So
That's awesome.
yeah, it's really it's going to be amazing. I've never been to an event with that many people.
Yeah.
And like you said, 15 to 20,000 people all dressed up like zombies,
Yeah.
Yeah.
literally walking into our event.
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
shit, man. It's going to be
Yeah.
a fun day. I can't wait.
That's
I
gonna
mean,
be so cool.
I hope they walk right in the doors and pay to get in and see everything. I think it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you guys.
Yeah.
And it's a really cool mix of like paranormal people, because I keep watching all the announcements. They like keep coming up, like every day there's a new one. All the paranormal people that they keep adding to, and then all the horror people. It's such a cool mix. It's going to be
Right.
Were we supposed to go to that last year or something?
We were supposed to go to it last year, and they shut it down because of COVID.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, I
he
remember now.
said we were still good for this year, but there was just no way. I mean, with my new
Yeah.
job,
Yeah.
at the time I had lost my job because, I mean, it was just a bad time. And then I just knew at starting a new job, I wouldn't have that much time to be able to take. And I mean, you guys see what I'm going through now with this job. It's
No,
like
we
every day
don't.
I'm working,
Yeah, because
12,
we don't see you. Yeah.
I know, right? We're working 12, 13 hours a day. So,
I mean,
so the money's
Eisenberg
good.
and I
But
could have gone.
you could have.
Just saying.
Yeah, whatever.
Eisenberg road trip.
Yeah, you guys don't get to have fun without me.
Did you say you volunteer at Madison?
Mhm.
Addie and them are gonna. They have a table there.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw the banner. I'm excited.
Yeah. Yep. So you could always tag along with them.
I know
There
I
you go.
could.
Yeah.
There you go.
I might.
There you go. We're a I said it again. We're a crypto paranormal service.
Yeah. Oh, we
That's all
made
I'm
the
gonna
merch
say
drop.
from now on.
Look what I got today, D.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I need to come get one of those.
You need
Yeah,
two,
you paid
don't
for
you?
2.
I know. I need one's
These
for
are
Aaron and
freaking
one's for my
sweet too.
cousin.
Like, I normally don't like these kind of hats, the snapbacks, because
That
they
looks
never
cool.
fit my big fat head.
Yeah, those
But
are cool.
these are like adult size. I mean, these fit me.
I
Like, and there's
it.
with some snaps to spare. So we only made 6. We already sold 3, I think, right?
Yeah, 3.
Yeah.
So
I bought
we're
2
gonna
of them.
Oh,
Well,
What
he's
happened?
still there. I don't.
what?
He must
There
have
he
hit a
is.
button or something. I don't know.
Oh,
He just disappeared.
during his
Oh.
sales pitch, Denise, when we
Right.
needed it the most, he hit the
Right?
button.
Yeah,
Here,
there it is.
the Cryptic Paranormal Show trucker hat.
That does look good.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not, like, I feel bad about, like, emailing them 5 times a day, like, where the hell are my hats? I need them for the
Right.
18th. Where the hell are my hats?
Yeah.
Sir, we said 5 to 7 days production. It's only been 6. I'm
You're like, yeah, that's between 5 and 7. Where's my
yeah,
shit?
you're talking about business days. I ordered these 10 days ago.
Right?
I've become quite the Karen when it comes to our paranormal merch. Like, where the fuck is
Yeah.
our shit?
Right? Meanwhile, the guy's like, your t-shirts are done. I'm like, all right, I'll be there today. And
Yeah.
then the next day, I'm like, oh, I totally forgot to come yesterday. I'll come today. Then the next day, I'm like, oh my God, I totally forgot. I'll be there tomorrow. I promise.
Yeah. I'm totally digging the green on her sweatshirt. The
Yeah, I
black
like
with
that.
the yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a nice sweatshirt. I love the logo and everything. You guys have done an awesome job of promoting that. And it's just going to be amazing. I'm so happy for you guys. It's going to be cool. Are you guys going to be doing anything live? Like, we could watch it from home, or like
I
live?
don't know if they're gonna have anything like that set up or not.
What are you doing? Aren't you moderating some of the stuff?
Yeah, she's doing the ghost hunt. That's why we were talking about it.
Yeah,
I missed that part.
heading up
Sorry.
the ghost hunt Friday and Saturday night, and then I'll be working the Dark Moon Press tables and then
Okay.
my table at the main event. So I'm
Gotcha.
pretty much gonna be working the entire weekend.
Yeah.
So I because of that, I talked Eric into letting me close up my tables at
Yeah.
7 on Sunday.
Yeah.
So I can get to the hotel before my game starts at 8:20. So I'm like, Eric, yo, I can't, man. I
Right.
can't. You know, I
Right.
can't miss a game. I just haven't missed a game in 27 years.
Yeah.
I'm not about to miss one.
Yeah.
He's like, but you're going to be exhausted. I was like, no, trust me, this bitch will be awake enough to watch that game. I'm going to pass out, but I will be awake to watch that game. So he's like, yeah, you can shut down early. I'm like, thank you.
Nice.
he really didn't have a choice. I was going regardless.
Right.
It's nice to let him think that he had a choice in the matter,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
That's funny. So I do have pictures of you have 3 books coming out right now,
Oh,
right? Or that just came out.
Actually, I just released one this week, and another one will be out this weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I was clearly stalking your Facebook
that
page.
one's already out. That's the first one in the series. And then the one that's being released this weekend is the sequel. That one, yeah. That's a sequel to the first one that you showed.
Okay. And then what
Yep.
about this one?
That one was released earlier this week. So I write both fiction and nonfiction. So I'm kind of
You're-
all over the board.
Like, how the hell do you have time for all of this?
I don't have a life. Stay at home. Yeah, I mean, once I got my first book published, like something happened. I don't know what happened. Like 6
Hi,
years
Jeff.
later, I'm about ready to release my 46th book.
Oh my
Jesus.
gosh.
Yeah, so I mean, there's days that I write for like 18 hours straight. Like,
Wow.
Well, that's why your hands are always hurting.
yeah, I'm almost positive that's what kind of kicked this RA into gear.
Mm-hmm.
Because I get in the zone and I'm there. Like nothing
Mhm.
distracts me. I don't allow it. Get what I need done, until I can't stay awake anymore. And then,
All right.
but I've written a 600-page book in 2 months.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. So my publisher loves me.
That
So
is
what's
crazy.
your favorite? What do you like writing more? Fiction or
Oh,
nonfiction?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fiction, without a doubt, because there's some research in it, but it's more or less it's all coming from my brain,
Yeah.
and they're naughty books, so I get to use my imagination and take it to different levels, and I love creating the characters. So yeah, fiction is by far my favorite.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
I love that you mix the erotic with the paranormal. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've done that, and I can, like, I go back and forth because I write both. So
Yeah.
one day I'll work on nonfiction, and I'll be talking about spirituality and animal guides, and then the next day I'm writing hot sex scenes and I'm in an erotica book. So, and I can transition very
Paraerotica.
easily. So my brain
Nice.
is on board with all this. So that's good.
That's awesome.
Holly said,
Holly.
"Did you say naughty books?"
That's
Oh,
right.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, naughty.
Did you ever get them mixed up?
Nonfiction.
Honestly, yes, one time, and the editor caught it. My editor caught it.
I was just kidding,
I
but
was
that's
writing
funny.
a book on animal spirit guides,
That's
and
exactly what I was
it
thinking
was
too.
I was supposed to be writing about duck, D-U-C-K, and I wrote dick instead.
Oh no.
She laughed about that. She literally called me and hysterically laughed for like 2 minutes. She's like, I should have never said anything. I was like, oh yeah, you should have.
Oh yeah, that's your job.
Like, I can't release that, So yeah, I've yeah. You get used to writing one word, I don't write duck very often,
Right.
It was just habitual. I can't help that, but she caught it, so it's all good.
That's funny.
Looks
friend-
like Peggy's got a question.
Yeah, Pezzy has a question. Where do you get your inspiration for your characters? Me, obviously.
I know.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Do you tell them?
99% of all my characters are people that I know.
Do you tell them?
They know, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Some of them, that like I only know through Facebook or, Twitter or something like that. I don't really let them know because why? You know what I mean? It's just something about them that sparked that inspiration. But people like I know, oh yeah, and they're all about it. I get
Nice.
people asking me all the time, write me in there. I want to be naughty, Okay.
That's
Calm
so
down, Ray.
cool.
What? Calm down. Brian said, Ray, you had to ask. Of course I'd ask. Because I'm sure there's probably at least 2 volumes just on me, right?
3.
3? Awesome.
Oh, jeez.
I'm just the weirdo watching in the corner.
Yeah.
Shit.
So how many of the nonfiction books have you written?
I just released my 16th nonfiction.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Jeez. I think it's been like 6 years and I've maybe finished the foreword.
You haven't finished the forward yet. You probably started with the so this is how it begins, and that's where it stops.
Right. Like, I'm still working on the title. I don't know. I need to have like a quiet space for like a week before I can even like think about it, and that's just not in the books for me. I don't have a creative space right now, or I'm just too lazy. Probably that.
My brain can't conceptualize writing something in a straightforward tale.
Yeah.
Like it would be
that's
jumping
the thing.
all over.
It's like I could get the idea and I could storyboard it all out in my head, but when it comes to translating it from my head to paper or to word process or whatever it is, it's like I lose everything. I don't know. It's just weird. I walk around with a book in my head, but I can't get it in a file.
I feel like it would be good for some people. You know what? You have like a voice recorder on your phone, just like say it. Just say it all and record it and then just type it all out later. Yeah. If you don't have, you don't have your laptop with you and you can't write stuff down, but you're driving and you have a good idea, like just do.
Oh my gosh, driving is like
right.
I could write a whole book while I was driving,
and then you get the pleasure of listening to your voice back to you.
Oh my god,
just like we do every week.
Yeah. I've actually never watched the show.
That works for nonfiction. That doesn't work so well with erotica because it's really not the same. And I've had people recommend that, like, why don't you use the text to speech and option? Right. And I'm like, nah, I got neighbors. Nah, I can't be yelling.
Oh, listen, the angel's talking again.
Yeah.
They probably have their ears up to the door. What's going on?
Right?
Oh yeah, probably.
Probably have my work phone on and still be connected to a patient by accident. Excuse me? Like, oh shit. Yeah, Peggy said that should be a raffle at MadCon for when to be a character in a book. That's funny.
That's why I asked if you tell your friends, like.
Oh yeah, and they're proud of it. They are so proud of it. Yeah. Yep.
Until you like make one of the characters like a super bitch or something, you know what I mean? And then they're like, "Is this what you really think about me?"
No, that's not you.
Well, she didn't say if she wrote Ray in there yet.
Yeah.
Well, if it was a bitch character, it probably was me, right?
Yeah.
Extra froth.
Yep.
It's definitely easier to go off of somebody that I know because their characteristics, their personality, loosely based off that person.
Yeah.
Right.
But there's always going to be something in there within that character that the person is going to read that and be like, "Oh, she's talking about me," yeah, it's a lot easier for me.
That's really cool.
And even like the villains and what have you in my book, they're people that enemies or people that just done me wrong in the past. Oh yeah, I don't hold back with them.
Do you like make their names like so similar that they like?
No, there was only one character that I only changed one letter in the name. I'm not going to say who it is because if you're watching, they're going to know.
Was it Jay Gooseby?
No.
It was Rafe Woosby.
No, but this guy is just a real piece of work, and he was very inappropriate with me on a couple occasions that I was with him on an investigation, and it literally just got to the point that I had to threaten him.
Wow.
And I just it just that anger from me with him spread into this book.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I completely humiliated this man in my book. And I hope to God one day somebody reads that book and says, I know who she's talking about. You need to see this. And I'm going to laugh my ass off. He's so deserving. And he'll know exactly
Yeah.
who I'm talking about if he ever were to read that. I guarantee it.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's awesome.
It's
Yeah,
got to be
so
kind of like
that's-
therapy too, to be able to like. It's got to be a real
Yeah.
cool way to like have like self therapy to be able to just like write that about somebody that you had a bad experience with and just like vent or put it
is
in your
so
story.
therapeutic. Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause even
Cause-
the bad things that had happened to me that caused me to have all these pain, all this pain and all these issues.
Mm.
My one book release, it had a lot of what I went through that night with, the stabbing and the beating. And I incorporated that into that book, and I literally cried through it, not because I was sad, but
Yeah.
it really had been the first time I ever touched on that subject in my life. And I
Yeah.
chose it to be about a woman that was abused and, just humiliated and degraded. And I poured a lot of what I felt into that character. And it was so therapeutic. I never had any clue that it would be as therapeutic as it was. So
Yeah.
it can help. It absolutely can help.
Which one was
Yeah.
that? Which book was that?
It's called Released, A Woman's
Okay.
Dark Journey, and it's one of the fictions. But yeah, the character, she went through a lot with the man she was with, and the insults and the abuse, and in real life when I was attacked, when I lived in Pittsburgh, my body went through so much, but my mental state for a long time had a hard time accepting what I went through. And I never chose to really talk about it too much with people. I just kind of closed that part off and
Yeah.
was like, you know what? It happened to me. I don't want to, I just don't want to talk about it. When I started writing that character in the book, it just kind of it flowed into what happened to me that night, and it just poured out, and I couldn't stop it, and I didn't want to stop it. That
Right.
really writing that book was what made it easier for me to talk to people about my situation and what I went
Yeah.
through that night. So yeah, that's probably one of
So
my
you had to like
favorite
write it to accept it yourself before you could
Yeah.
even share it with
Mhm.
Yeah,
the real story.
hard to talk
Wow.
about,
Oh yeah, I'd imagine. There's so
Yeah.
much inner crap that you have to deal with to even like say the words.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of trauma. That's
Yeah.
crazy, but you're really strong for doing that and putting it into words that I'm sure other people who read it probably there's some women who read it who probably understand the character,
Well,
unfortunately.
I've had fans reach out to me
Yeah.
and thanked me, for not holding back and just showing the reality of what some women go through with
Yeah.
partners. And, no, the man that attacked me, he wasn't my partner. He wasn't my lover or anything like
Mhm.
that. He was actually my friend's boyfriend, but the abuse was still there. The attack and the assault was still
Yeah.
there. So I just
Right.
focused on that with the book. Yeah.
That's very cool that you were.
Yeah, it's
I mean, bottling things up is never good. So I'm glad that it ended up going that way. So you
Yeah.
forced yourself kind of to talk about it. And
My character
probably-
forced me.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was not ready. My character was like, all right, we got to let's do
Yeah.
this and let's just do
Yeah.
it and get it out. And yeah, I'm glad I
Yeah, I'm
listened
glad
to
it
her.
turned out that way.
So I know we touched up kind of base a little bit on. Holy crap! Let me try that again one more time.
Thank you.
Take two.
So, I know last time we had you on, and Mike and Denise weren't part of the show. It was me and Steve at that point.
Mhm.
We touched base on the animal's spirit connection. Explain to me how you explained it to us. Like, does each animal represent something spiritually, or is it something that comes out in us? Like, how does that work?
The animal spirituality, some believe that you have totems that you have all throughout your life. I believe you have one main totem that kind of walks with you on your journey. And then there's animals that come to you, throughout different phases of your life, and they all represent something different. Um, and animals, because they're such pure spirits, you know what I mean? There's no vindictiveness, there's no, you know,
Jealousy.
yeah,
Nothing.
Yeah.
no, pure, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So when they come to you, and whether it's in a dream or when you're taking a walk on a path, and a bird flies down and lands in front of you and makes eye contact, that means something. um the hardest thing about it is finding out what animals are supposed to be in your life on a permanent basis, and what
Mhm.
come in and out as you go through phases. And the book that I wrote, Walking the Path, it helps you. It helps you figure out what your main totems are, and then helps you understand what other animals mean when they come into your life and what they represent. So it's no different than somebody using tarot cards and flipping a card to see
Yeah.
messages. Animals carry messages too.
Mhm.
um I believe they're a little bit more accurate than any card or rune or anything that you could choose to get guidance from. Animals are the biggest, um I think that the biggest impact on my life anyway, because they're never wrong.
Yeah. I yeah. Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys a story. Um
Yay.
Oh
when
God.
I know
Again.
I feel like I get way too personal sometimes. When I was 14, my grandpa died, and he was my favorite person, like, ever. I spent the weekends over there all the time, whatever. We were super close. And I had just found in my room the card from his funeral. So of course I
Oh,
was crying all over again, whatever. And I was crying to the point where I was having a hard time breathing. So I went to my window and I opened the window just to get some fresh air. And I had this teeny tiny little roof on the outside of my window. It was seriously only like 2 feet, and it was like really slanted. And there was this huge tree right outside the window. But as I'm sitting there, like, gasping for air because I'm crying so hard, this little tiny bird came up onto the roof and was like 3 inches away from my face. And it just stood there and looked at me until I stopped crying, and then it flew away.
oh, that's
So,
awesome.
right?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, obviously that was like my grandpa being like, hey, calm down. It's fine. I'm
Yeah.
here. I'm right here. I might look like a bird, but I'm right here.
Right.
um, it, it was a really, I know I was only 14, but it was like a really like spiritual moment. Like, I was really taken back by it. Like, I still think about it whenever I see there's those little brown and white birds. I don't know what they
Sparrow.
are, but maybe, yeah. It was really cool. So ever since then, I've been a firm believer that animals aren't just there. When you have something like that happen, it's definitely way bigger.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep, I had an experience like that with a hawk. After my mom passed away, that was actually her main totem, was the hawk. And about a month after she passed, I had taken a walk down the street, and we have like a little bike path that you can walk on or ride a bike, and just kind of pulled over, and I was going to walk the trail, and I could hear the hawk screeching above me. So I look up, and I have my camera with me, and I'm looking at him, and he's like circling above me, and just because I feel so connected to animals, and I know my mom did too. I literally looked up to the hawk and I said, Mom, that's you giving me a sign. Can you come closer? I shit you not. This hawk came, and there was like a pole with a light on it, came and landed on the pole above my head. Now it was way up there, but I could, he was right above me. I have
Right.
video of this. I took my camera immediately. And as I'm talking to this hawk, and he's looking down, eye contact, taking video of this, and I start crying, and I'm getting emotional because by that point I'm like, it's my mom, like she came
Right.
to see me. And I was just so happy and sad at the same time. And I looked up at it and I said, even if you're not mom, thank you. I needed to see this. I feel connected to her. Thank
Right.
you. That hawk dropped and flew off the post, landed in the field maybe 20 feet from me, and opened its wings and was doing a circle in the field. And I got video of that too.
Oh my
Wow.
I knew
gosh.
nobody would believe me,
That's
and
nuts.
it just spread its wings out, and it was like dipping and just literally dancing in this field. And the first thing I thought of was a Native American dance, like the
Yeah.
first thing I thought of. And
Yeah.
my mom was Native American. My grandmother was full-blooded Blackfoot Indian from the Canadian nation.
Oh wow.
So tribal beliefs run very deep in my family. And that was the first thing I thought of. And I've never seen a hawk do that since. I've never seen it before that. I had no clue that they would dip down and dance like that. And as soon
Right.
as I acknowledged that I was seeing, it flew off and dipped its wings at me and then just flew off into the horizon. And I've never experienced anything so spiritual than that day.
That is so
And
cool.
it just never forget it ever. Animals are
That's
amazing.
so awesome.
I got a story.
All right.
This is the first time I've been on here since Chance died, right?
Yeah.
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 So Chance was my dog. He was blind. He was diabetic. He was older.
Mhm.
So he used to do this thing when we were sleeping because he slept in the bedroom with us. He would walk up to where our heads were, and he would sit on my head to get Kate to take him out. Like he would actually sit on top of my head. I made sure I turned the other way because I didn't want a dog butt in my face. So I always slept on the other side.
Why not?
So after he died, like a couple days after, no, it was actually the night. Ray, remember when we had that door shut? I said that felt like the static, like
Yeah.
I rubbed the balloon on my head.
Yeah.
I felt that go up my back and on my head.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I was just like I felt that feeling. I was like, and I had to tell Kate because Kate was very upset. I was like, he's still here.
Right.
Yeah.
He's with us.
He's still sitting on my head.
Yeah, he's still sitting on my head. Like, yeah, I had to purposely say, all right, I'm sleeping this way because I know he's going to sit on my head.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Well, at least it's ghost doggy butt
That's
now.
so cute.
Yeah.
Right.
But it was. I haven't felt it since. But that
No
night,
phantom smells.
yeah,
Yeah.
I actually felt it because he would always rub up against my back because he couldn't
Yeah.
see, so he would use me
Wow.
as a guide,
All right.
and
Right.
then sit on my head. But
That's so cute.
that was so cool, though. I was like,
Yeah.
this is awesome.
Yeah, that is cool. I
Right.
still and my wife will even say she's every once in a while at night because Luna would stay. Our lab would lay down. She'd fall asleep. She would come up whenever she felt like it. Like, what is it? Never like immediate thing. Like we all got up and went to bed, and she'd come with us. Most of the time she'd actually say, "Okay, nobody's looking. I'm going to go lay on the couch for a little bit." But especially like her last couple of years where she was older, she was a lot more heavy-footed. Like you could hear her breathing heavy,
Mm.
trying to get up the stairs. Every once in a while, we hear that still. Like you hear her foot pads hitting the stairs, and her paws just like clambering up the stairs, and you hear like a panting. It's the weirdest thing, and I'd say it's our new dog, but we keep him. He's crated at night, so it's just a weird thing. And obviously, it's not Poppy because she totally different sound. She's more like a cat.
Yeah,
she's all 9 pounds. And, you don't even know she's like in the bedroom until she's like laying on your hand or whatever.
at least it's not your head.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I mean, even like the cat Lucy, we still like every once in a while. I feel like I see her out of the corner of my eye, or I know it's not the dog in the bed with us. I feel like how you always just that familiar feeling of like when your animals hop up on your bed.
Yeah,
They do like the little turning thing, and then they lay down. You feel the weight of them like towards your feet. It's crazy stuff. But
yeah.
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I can't remember.
Oh. Well, that's the show, everybody. We can't remember. No, but I was gonna ask Angel, like, how do you know what your totem is? Like, where do you start? I mean, obviously we want to read your book. I'm gonna push your book to learn the in depth.
I wrote it down. I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
It's honestly just, you got to think back to when you were a child and what your earliest memory of, there's always an animal that we're more connected to than others. You know what I mean? Like, maybe, when you would go to the zoo and the bears at the zoo was your favorite thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And you resort to those memories, that chances are that's that first animal that you have that connection with is typically your main totem. So that totem is with you throughout your whole life. So you would turn to that totem, for guidance, and what have you. So that's pretty much it. And then as you go on in life, you're going to find other animals that you like, or, you want statues or posters of or whatever. Chances are those are your, the lower level totems. They're there to help you with lessons in life.
Yeah.
Providing extra strength for a traumatic experience, or, they all have a purpose in our lives. And they come and go, they stick around for as long as you need them.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go off, and then, chances are you'll have another encounter with another animal, or you'll have a dream about an animal, or, you know what I mean? And there's significance to it all throughout your life. So, yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
What's your trying to remember what animal that I know.
This is going to sound really stupid.
Ray has always been the bear.
Yeah, I love bears.
Yeah.
But I mean, I have an addition, but I want to hear what Denise was going to say.
No, does it have I don't know. Does it have to be like things that you would normally be surrounded by? I mean, like a chance that you would actually encounter it? Or
no, it could just be like, I'm not around panda bears, but I absolutely adore panda bears. You know.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Okay, I didn't know how to ask that question. Like
unicorns aren't real, Denise. Sorry.
You don't know.
That affinity that you feel, like people that collect like penguins.
Right.
Chances are you're never going to encounter a penguin in real life, but people collect them. There's a reason for that. You don't just have that attraction to that animal for no reason. There's some kind of link there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it could be penguins, and it, it could be dragonflies. It doesn't have to be a big grizzly bear. You know what I mean? People.
No, it does.
I love dragonflies.
Are you serious?
People kind of let their egos get involved when it comes to picking your totem, and the totem's supposed to pick you. You're not supposed to pick it, first of all. And second, it doesn't have to be, a big ferocious to make you feel big and ferocious about yourself. It can literally be a dragonfly. That dragonfly is significant. I mean, they're amazing creatures.
They're colorful, Ben.
Small and dainty doesn't mean it doesn't have significance. So you kind of got to drop your ego and really stick with what you're truly connected to, and not what your ego is connected to. If that makes sense.
Yeah. No.
That reminded me. I used to love dragonflies. They're so colorful.
They're beautiful. Yeah.
They're super cool. I do feel like everybody picks like.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, sorry. I do feel like everybody picks like giant things, and sloths. Everybody likes to say that a sloth is their spirit animal because they're lazy. But for the most part, I feel like people always pick like bears and tigers and lions.
Yeah.
Well, bear for me, I mean, yeah, it's big, but I mean, it just. Oh, okay. The first time, my first experience seeing a bear wasn't the best. I'll be honest with you. We used to go to this like local zoo that like, and I say zoo, but it was like zoo in the worst form of the word. I mean, it was like the Tiger King type stuff. It was like, but they had bears in cages, like out in the middle of the fields, like no. It was horrible. I mean, they said they were holding them. You know, some of the bears had been in commercials. Like one of the bears was like in the Chicago Bears commercial or something like that. But they're like right here in Ohio. But they're out in the middle like of this like, and there's like trailers, like empty trailers. It's just a nasty place. I was like 10, and I remember seeing these bears and feeling horrible. Like I started crying and yelling, like my dad, we got to get them out of here. My dad was like freaking out, like, dude, we can't do that. He's like, we brought our fish there to feed them. Because we would go to this local farm pond and catch like a shit ton of bluegill, way more than we would eat. I'm not a big fan of fish anyways, even though I love fishing. And we'd just take them there and feed the animals because they would let us. You know, didn't charge admission. These animals were just there rotting in these cages. It was horrible.
Wow.
And there were other animals there, but for some reason, like these bears were sitting there and they just looked so sad. And like, remember that emotion when I was looking at them, like I wanted to let them loose. Like I was screaming, like I scratched my dad, like I drew blood on him. I was so
Oh
upset,
my gosh.
like trying to fight to get to the bears. And just ever since then, it's like always been like, I watch documentaries on bears. I mean, when I go to the zoo, I'm like, okay, where are the bears? You know, that's the first thing I want to see.
Yeah, that would be your main totem,
Yeah.
without a doubt. Yeah.
Yeah, and I could sit there. I could sit there.
There's a
Yeah.
connection. There's a
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah, and I would go to the zoo and I'd just sit there and just watch them, and I'd feel at peace, like, oh, you know, and I kind of feel like they're like me. I'm kind of a big fuzzy guy that is ferocious when he needs to be, but kind of just like chill and like wants to like cuddle. I don't want to sleep all winter. You know, but I don't know. It just connection. But to add
I'll
to
come
that,
feed
like,
you some fish, Beret. That's fine.
yeah, right. Throw me in a cage, feed me some fish. But another experience I had was when we were in Maine over the summer. We did that whale watch. You know, and I didn't expect much out of it. I didn't think we were going to see anything, but we actually came across a humpback whale, and we were getting some good shots. But like you would see it come up and die, but we're like waiting for the big, you know, tail fin shot, right? The minute I saw just the dorsal fin, I didn't even like see the whole thing. I started bawling my eyes out, like, oh my God, that's a freaking humpback whale in front of me. There's something about it that just was such an emotional experience for me. So like, I mean, we're all of us running, like all of us had taken the 2-hour trip out there. We're all like seasick. There's like puke all over the place. Everybody forgot about it as soon as the whales started popping up.
Yeah.
And we're all running back and forth, like, oh, because they would turn the thing so other people could see it, but the people on the other side would run back to the other side. So it was, they're like, okay, you know, we've been here, we were there a good 45 minutes just watching it dive for food. We never got the big tail fin shot, right? So I'm like, we're all crying. My wife's just like, this was like just amazing thing. We saw a humpback whale. Not everybody gets to see that.
Right.
So we're turning around and they're like, okay, we're gonna go. You know, we're done. We think she's done feeding for right now. And so we start pulling off and we start going straight real slow. And she's like, well, she's coming back up one last time. And we were in the back of the boat. She came up right behind us. And boom, the tail's there. I freaking lost my shit. All right. Like, and I only saw like a little bit of it going into the water, but we saw it. I knew it was there. It was like saying, here you go.
Right.
This is what you wanted to see, how powerful I am. This is about as close as I'm going to get to this boat, but here you go. Look at it. Because you know what you would just. I'm like crying. My wife is crying. My kids are crying. Like everybody's just crying. Like, oh my God. You see, like, and now I've been obsessed with whales since I saw that. Like, I mean, you know, just it's amazing, like the emotional effect that animals could have on you if it's something that you're drawn to for whatever reason. But
yeah.
And I've always had a connection to water too, because like I'll go to places like I don't care about boating or fishing. I'm fine with just sitting on a dock or on the shore and just staring at it, because there's nothing to me more grounding. And I know it's weird because I'm saying grounding and I'm talking about looking at water. But
aren't you a Cancer?
Yeah.
That would be why you're a water sign.
Yeah. But like, yeah, the other day, like I was at this, I don't know if this like lady knew I was stressed out. I was at work and I stopped they had this beautiful house. It was on Turkey Foot Lake.
Yeah.
Heisenberg knows. It's touch and go on how, I mean, you could live in a shack on Turkey Foot Lake.
Or you could live in a huge ass house.
This was one of this huge ass mansion. This guy was like a photojournalist for Akron Beacon Journal. He was retired. You know, she's telling me about the big club that they're part of. and that he can't go to they can't really go to the club because he's incapacitated. He's handicapped now and everything. But they were having this big thing for him where they were driving their boats around the lake and then stopping at his house to say hi. Like one by one, they were coming
That's
by
cool.
and just saying hi to him. Anyways,
cute.
I told her, like, I love this view from your back dock. I'm like, she's like, take a break, go sit back there. She let me just go sit back on her dock for like 10 minutes just by
That's
myself.
so cool.
Yeah. And she came back about 10 minutes later. I was getting ready to leave, and she's like, "Do you feel better?" I'm like refreshed. It's like I just had a cup of coffee. She's like, "Good." She's like, "Anytime you're in the area and you want to come by, just come sit back on the dock and chill for a minute."
That's cool.
Oh,
So
that's so nice.
yeah, that was
Yeah,
really cool. But yeah, just like when we were in Maine, we had the ocean on one side, and like from the back porch, we could see the sound that led to the ocean. It was Raccoon Bay or something like that. It was just like, oh, water, and all the animals that live in the water.
Yeah. See, growing up on the lake, I'm like totally like I haven't recorded the waves crashing against the
The
rocks.
best.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I could listen to it whenever I need to.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's
Like
cool.
any vacation we like on the beach, I'm like, we have to have like beach view from wherever we're at. I don't care how much extra we have to spend. I want beach view. I'm such a diva, but I want beach view. If I'm going to go to the
Right?
beach,
You need to come up
I'll-
to the Hotel Conneaut, man.
yes, I know.
Atlanta.
I know.
That
Oh.
I
one
want to go there.
You sit there and you're right at the lake. Like the
Yeah.
beach is
Oh.
20 steps from the hotel.
Oh my
That
god.
is so cool.
Yeah,
Because you need to make
gotta-
that
That's-
happen. We need to go.
We can make that happen. I'd like to make it happen for the team, obviously, but even just like the three of us and Angel, we could do like a mini show from there or something. Just like, because I know Angel, like you like to work. Generally, you like to work with smaller people, like not smaller people, but smaller groups.
Yeah, group. We were discussing that, I think, before you came on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The bitch switch happens, and
yeah. No, I mean, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say a
blame you.
word. Like,
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's hard. I mean, even with our group, sometimes it's when you're like experience something, then you kind of want to dig into it, and then everybody's just kind of goofing around. But most of the time, we're so tired by like 11 o'clock, we're all goofing around at that point, anyways. But anyways, but no, I need to. I keep talking about Conneaut. I want to come out and check it out, and I keep talking to you about it, but it just I don't know. Life
I know.
and excuses and
Yeah.
and it's not that far. It's not that far at all. I mean, compared to some of the places we've been to.
Right. Yeah, and the rooms, I mean, they always have vacancies.
Yeah.
The only thing about coming up, like if you come up on the weekend,
Yeah.
it's gonna be busier. You know.
Sure. Right.
If you come up during the week, I can get them to shut down the hotel and
Wow.
just have it open for just us. I mean, they do
Yeah.
that for me all the time.
Nice.
If I just want to get away and just
Yeah.
go and talk to the spirits, you know, or connect with my grandma, then I just go down to the hotel. I let them know I'm coming.
Yeah.
They unlock the door for me. They make me a big pot of coffee.
Nice.
They leave me alone. Like I can run them up if I want to, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
remind me, what is your grandmother's connection to Conneaut? Or your
My
mother's?
grandma Ruth she was killed in a kerosene explosion right behind the hotel.
Oh wow. Okay.
So in April 22nd, 1940, she put the three girls, my mom and her two sisters, out in the yard,
Mhm.
went back into the house to light the kerosene fire heater or the kerosene heater that they had.
Yeah.
She didn't realize it, but there were embers still burning from the night before.
Oh
She
no.
didn't know it. So when she poured the kerosene on it,
Yeah.
it exploded and consumed her body from the neck down.
Wow.
In one article, the original article that I have when it happened, nobody seemed to understand how, when she was bent over and she caught fire, her face
Yeah.
and her hair was not touched. Completely flawless. Her hair
Yeah.
didn't get singed, nothing like that. She caught fire from the neck down. So when I saw the pictures of her in the casket,
Yeah.
they had something buttoned all the way up to her face,
Yeah.
like her neck, because her face was fine.
Sure.
It was the rest of her that suffered second and third degree burns.
Wow.
So she caught fire on April 22nd, 1940. She suffered an immense pain for 2 days and died on April 24th.
Wow.
There is a legend at the hotel where they talk about Elizabeth. There is no Elizabeth that ever got there in the hotel. There's absolutely no documentation to it, no truth to it whatsoever. Hopefully this Elizabeth was killed in a fire at the hotel in 1943. So I'm guessing that they kind of misconstrued my grandmother's actual story.
Right.
And filled it in with this Elizabeth story.
Yeah.
And when I found out that that's what they were doing, that's when I kind of went to the hotel and I was like, look, here's all the articles.
Right.
I have pictures of her. You can see where the cottage was right behind the hotel.
Yeah.
And I took it all down and I left it down at the hotel. I was like, so every time somebody brings up Elizabeth, please show them this, because that's nothing like that happened. There was no woman that died in the hotel. My grandma died behind the hotel, though. So I get a little frustrated when they talk about Elizabeth, at the hotel, because
oh yeah, I don't blame you.
There's no truth to it. It's just a legend to get people, interested in the hotel. It's not haunted. The place is haunted. I mean, we've got so much evidence from this place. It's unreal. There's no need to make up shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It really, see the bitch switch. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Sounds like Madison.
what was your
Those guys
grandma's
make up all
name?
kinds of things. I'm just kidding.
Her name was Ruth Scrivens. Was my grandma.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Jason Hawes, Ghost Nation. They did an episode at the hotel last year and contacted me to interview me and everything. I gave them all the articles and the pictures and all that. And they actually were getting activity. Even the parts that they showed on the show that they didn't edit out, when they brought her name up and my name up, they were getting activity. Like they got stuff on the stairs. They heard a woman screaming. I mean, they got all kinds of things. And, when I was doing my interview with Jason, I told him, I said, if you catch her at the right time, she'll turn into a chatty Cathy. My grandma can talk. I mean, she just can, and she will talk if you give her the time.
Yeah.
And, the sufficient energy to do it.
Right.
She'll talk a ear off, but you got to give her the time to do it. So that was a very cool experience. COVID, they tried to get me tested so I could go to the hotel and actually investigate with them, because they wanted me there, because I'm, everybody at the hotel was like, first of all, you need to talk to Angel, because she's got all kinds of evidence. She's a conduit. She comes here and it drives the staff crazy because the place just wakes up when she's here, So they wanted me to go so badly, but I couldn't get the test results back in time, and they did everything in their power to get me, tested, but just couldn't get them back in time, and they were only here for so long, so we just, we did the Zoom interview that way. So
I saw the episode. It was pretty sweet.
Yeah, Jason, I was intimidated in the beginning because I didn't know if he was like a growly kind of person, and I was like, oh, I can be growly too, so this might not be good, but no, he's very sweet and was very respectful. He literally asked me if it was okay to call out for my grandmother. So he, a lot of shows aren't going to do that. They're just going to do what they want. So literally asked me if it was okay before. So
That's
cool. And I'm glad the whole thing was a good experience for you, because I've heard some horror stories from other people who've been on other certain shows, and been interviewed. So that's really cool that you were portrayed so well, and your grandma was respected.
Yeah.
So what other locations do you consider your fave go-tos?
Oh boy, Hinsdale, no
Oh,
doubt.
love
Hinsdale is
Hinsdale.
like
Yeah.
second. I've goodness, I think I've lost count now, but like last year, it was I've been there for like 800 hours or something. Like,
Oh
because
wow.
I log when I'm at somewhere. I log how long I'm there,
Yeah.
just as a to give me an idea of how many times do I have to come back to actually get communication,
Yeah.
or certain times and all. So I log all that because I'm just organized like that.
No, it makes
Um,
sense. I wish I was.
I've like the hotel I've been going there to investigate since 1983.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Okay.
So I couldn't even tell you how many times or how many hours I've investigated that place. But Hinsdale, I started keeping a log because honestly, my first trip there, I didn't think I was going to get anything because
Yeah.
new place, I'm a new person,
Right.
you don't always get activity the first time. Yeah, not so much with the Hinsdale. It was like 10 minutes in, boom, we're here.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Right?
Holy shit, man.
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
Hinsdale is definitely different.
See, we
yeah.
got to go back with a bit of a smaller group because we were like
Mhm.
10 of us in that
It was
really
just too
small
hard.
place.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
too hard.
5 and under. If you want to
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
successful investigation,
Yeah.
5 and under. Yep, no doubt
Yeah.
about it.
Because
And
you
it's
could
got to
hear
be
everything.
5. Yeah. It's got to be 5 people who you investigate the same way as.
Yes.
Because you can't
Yeah.
be one of the people who likes to just go sit quietly in a room and then go with 4 other people who are super loud. It's got to be
Yeah, it doesn't work.
yeah.
Let's
It's
do
a
an
very
EVP
small
session.
place, but right.
Who are you? Like, can you just like slow down and like let them
Right.
answer?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
like
It's
ask 2 questions in the span of 10 minutes and just record for 20. Just
That's the way I like it.
yeah.
Mhm.
No, see, my bitch switch just flipped. That's not how you do EVPs. What the hell's wrong with you?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm really bad with that. We're doing an EVP session, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
you'll
maybe
get
we
the
should
best
investigate
I
together
ain't
then.
saying shit then, man. I'm just gonna sit there and just go
Well, I'm
like,
just saying, like, I know I make noises without even like realizing I'm doing it. Like, the occasional, or clearing my throat, or
oh shit, it's gonna be my stomach.
your
Yeah.
stomach's gonna- And it doesn't
I'm
matter
like,
what
I'm
you
so
do.
sorry,
It
Angel.
doesn't matter what you eat because if you decide not to eat, then
Right.
your stomach's grumbling because you're hungry,
Mhm.
or or you drink
I've
your
tried
water
everything.
too fast or something.
Yeah, I've literally told people to leave, get out of the room, don't come
Yeah.
back. I mean, my
Yeah.
teammates, they think it's hilarious because I just won't take any shit. Like, you're gonna be professional and respectful, or you can go. And
Mm.
I don't care who you are, celebrity,
Yeah.
not celebrity. It could be the Pope. Get out.
Right.
Right.
I don't. It's not why I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus,
Yeah.
there's no reason for it. There's no reason to be disrespectful.
No.
No.
It doesn't get you any further in the investigation. Just
Right.
I
And
think
I
that's from watching the shows, man. Because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know what I was doing when I first started, and I'm not, I was a little bit of a taunter, but you mature.
Well,
Yeah.
You should mature.
Oh,
you should.
and
Yeah.
sometimes you learn the hard way not to do that because your ass will get beat somehow by a spirit. It just
Mhm.
they're gonna treat you with the respect that you give them.
Yeah.
Right.
They'll either like be silent or they're gonna kick your ass. One of the two.
Yeah. So some people do mature through there, but some people don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know I can get communication or an energy response or something with just being quiet and observing.
Right.
And just paying attention to how I feel in certain spots and just walking through and just sitting and whatever. You don't need to ask a million questions.
Right. Yep. Yep. That's
And I
what
think they were.
when we get to a location, we get our stuff set up, and then I recommend that we sit down for 15 minutes
Mhm.
and silent session.
Yeah.
Let the house or the location talk to us. Let the
Right.
spirit come to us instead of us rushing in there
Mhm.
and demanding that they talk.
Right.
You know what I mean? Give it a chance to let everything come to you, and then start out. You know what I mean? And it's holy shit, is that hard to find people to do that?
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, it is.
Quiet. I never in my life thought that it would be as extremely hard as it is. To just shut up for 10 minutes.
Right.
Why can't you shut up for 10 minutes?
Yeah, and that's,
oh my gosh.
I love the silent sessions, man. Those are my favorite.
That's my favorite.
I love them.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna go.
There's no like, is that your voice or is that my voice? You know, you're quiet. You know.
Right. Yep. Absolutely.
So I love that you don't even,
what?
I love that you don't even mute your mic while you yell at your children.
Sorry, it's.
You want me to yell at him, Ray? Stop it!
I don't have time to mess around with that. Plus, my hands are numb. I can't fumble with this. I can't like figure what are they doing.
So, Angel, when you receive message from spirits, how does that work for you? I'm fascinated by how psychics work. I know some people can see
because it's so
things,
different for everyone.
Yeah, it's fascinating. So, do you like? Tell me what happens.
It's always first. It's ringing in my ears and like a tingling, almost a numbing sensation on my fingers, like my fingertips. So I usually sense them first. I feel them first. And then once I acknowledge that, you know, I can feel you, whether it's out loud or in my mind, then, you know, I can see them, I can hear them. It all depends. I always leave it to them. I don't demand them do anything. You know what I mean? If they want to show themselves, it's open. I'm good. I can handle it. You know, I always let them know what I can handle and what I cannot. It just, I wish there was a way to explain how it happens. It just happens. And I'm so, like I said, since I think my first like spiritual connection with, you know, knowing where I was going, what I was doing, and me reaching out to a spirit, I was probably like 10 years old. And it worked. And I wasn't frightened by it. I was probably excited more than anything. But it's happened since then. So I can smell them, I can hear them, I can see them. It all depends on what the spirit, how, you know, how they want to communicate with me. So it's always the ear ringing and the tingling of my fingertips is what I always feel first. No doubt.
I get the ear ringing too. That happens to me, and usually I know something is. Yeah.
Yep.
I've actually been with another psychic who was giving a psychic tour. It was when St. Joseph's Hospital was still open, when Tri-Seacoast Hunters were still having their convention up there. I think it was like their second year they had done it. But we took a psychic tour with Barb St. John, one of our good friends. And I swear to God, I'm going to lose my mind.
We can't hear it, just so you know.
Well, I can, but and it's driving me insane. Anyways.
You want me to call Kim? Hold on.
I'm walking around and like, okay, a lot of times I get sense too, but I got the ear thing first. And then I just like, I'm like, okay, I feel like somebody's like shouting in my ear.
Yep.
And she confirmed that for me. She's like, yeah, there's like a hospital administration person following us around, keeping his eye on us because he doesn't know what we're doing here. Okay, that makes sense. You know, we're up in like this new construction or what was old construction that they had stopped halfway through renovating because they shut the whole place down. And it was hurting me. It was like throbbing, like somebody was on me. And she's like, somebody is like seriously just shouting in your ear, like, what the hell are you doing here? You guys need to get out of here. And then, so it continued on, and this like was coming and going. And other people who were like sensitive were getting the same sensation, like where the whole side of their face was just throbbing. It was just the weirdest thing. And then all of a sudden I get this scent of like good and plenty. Like we're like in the middle of an old, musty old hospital, and I smell black licorice really strong, like in my face.
Yeah.
And like, I have no idea what this is. She's like, what do you think it is? I'm like, is the administrator, like, does he carry good and plenty or something around with him? She's like, yeah, he's literally walking around next to you. Like every once in a while, I'll take a couple and throw it in his mouth, or like gum or something, but she saw him putting some kind of black licorice candy or gum in his mouth. I'm like,
Gross.
that's so weird.
Right.
But like for me, it's like the tingle starts, and then like the ears start or something, and then a lot of people, people know I just start blacking out basically. I like start going into this funky place where I'm like in between like planes. I don't know, it's just weird. And
Mhm.
sometimes like a black cloud forms around me, Denise,
No big
stuff
deal.
like
No big
that.
deal.
But
I'm waiting for my chance to slap the shit out of you. It's going to happen one of these days.
I know. Galen's like his face is changing, weird stuff like that. But yeah, with me, like the sense, the tingling stuff happens. Like I smell things. It's just weird things. Like I pick up smells.
Yeah.
Like I know when we were in the Knickerbocker, the first time I was there, we're down in the basement, and Peg is with us, and I wasn't with Dark Alley. It was the other group, and we're just standing there doing like a silent observation session, and it's like somebody walked up to me with a pipe and just went, and just like blew it in my face.
Wow.
And I was not the only one that smelled it either. And the guy who ran our group, who was like Mr. Skeptic, we only do this to debunk the TV shows. That's the only reason we have a group, which was total bullshit. But he's like, what the hell is that? And he couldn't figure it out. So he starts walking around he's like walking on the ground, scratching the floor, like trying to figure out if it was like saturated.
Smelling the wall.
He's like smelling the wall, scratching the doorways. He's like, I know it's got to be here somewhere. Like, dude, she told us this is where the guys came down and they would drink whiskey during the Prohibition.
Oh, in the basement.
Right.
They'd go down, hang out in the basement. That's why there's old chairs and shit down here. They'd smoke their pipes and drink whiskey and apparently do other things, which we had EVPs suggesting. Not so nice things with other women, but anyways, it's just weird. Like the scent thing is big on me, and nausea too. I don't know if that's anybody else gets that, but like when I hit a high pocket of something, I'll get the tingly and the nauseous. Like my stomach is just like all of a sudden like ready to explode.
I just can't breathe.
Yeah. George, we love you, man. Your hair is on point, brother.
Is that Sunshine?
Yeah.
From California?
Yes, it is.
Hi, Sunshine.
Yes. Thank you, George.
But it's
I
weird
did-
because it's
Tony had a
one of those
question.
three things. Oh yeah, Tony, Uncle Guido Santori wants to know if you're planning on going back to the Inspiration House.
I am actually. I was just talking to a friend about that. We're gonna
Cool.
try and get in there before the winter sets in again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that place
Nice.
is amazing.
Now, is that place heated during the winter?
Oh yeah.
It's an Airbnb.
Oh, yeah, that's what I thought.
Yep.
I guess the driving thing is probably something to worry about coming out from where you live.
Yeah.
The length of the drive is probably. I'm like, why are you worried about the winter, Angel? That's it's heated.
Yeah, you still have to drive there.
Yeah, you still got to drive there. It's still
Yeah,
quite a
we
drive.
do roads. Yeah.
Dumbass.
Good sled.
And where I live, I live down in a valley,
Yeah.
and they don't plow in here.
Right.
So if we get tons of snow, I'm not going anywhere anyway.
Yeah,
so.
and you kind of live in that part of Pennsylvania that gets the big lake effect shit anyways. So yeah.
Yeah, we get dumped on. So.
Now I'm thinking.
Yep.
Oh,
It's about the only place I go in the wintertime. If I need to get an investigation in or just connect like that, the hotel, that's because it's 10 minutes from me. So
Yeah, that's so cool.
right.
George says huge fan of Angie for years. And then he says
He fixed
Angel.
it.
Yeah, he fixed it. Absolutely all class, but a dash of sassy when he did absolutely right. He hit the nail on the head with that one. Mistype. Yeah, we got it, buddy. We
got it,
understand. George Sprinkles Showplane. Is that how you... Just Sprinkles. You're Sprinkles from now on.
Sprinkles.
Sprinkles. The man loves some sprinkles, that's for sure.
Well, he puts it on everything.
I know, like macaroni and cheese. Come on, George.
Oh,
It makes for a nice color palette.
So, okay. Well, no, go ahead. What were you gonna ask?
I don't know much about Hotel County yet.
Oh,
So I was going to ask what the story
good
is
call.
behind it.
It's a
The
hotel.
Hotel Cognac, it's, oh my gosh, it's got so much history to it. But the gist of it is, and I've actually checked into this, and it's been believed since even way before I was born. And I'm 48, so it's been around for a while. But the land is cursed, and supposedly, one of the Iroquois Indians, that one of their chiefs, um, shot a bow and arrow into the land and said that anybody that dwells here will be cursed.
Hmm.
And that's where they think all these fires, because the hotel, the park, there's like an amusement park attached to it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That whole area, there's been like 8 different fires. One of them claimed my grandmother's life.
Right.
But I mean, it just has, there's been so many buildings around the hotel that have caught fire, and just,
Wow.
I mean, yeah, there's definitely something to it. I don't know if I would call it a curse, because that word is so overused.
Sure.
I think that I think the fires there aren't so much a curse, but more of a reminder, of people that disrespect the land,
Mm.
disrespect the lake.
Mhm.
You know, the fact that the hotel is still standing, because it was originally built in 1893, is when it was first built, and it remains true. Like, it's not a modernized hotel by any means.
Yeah.
It's very old. They're
Love it.
updating it, but I mean, it's, you walk into it and it's just got that feel, of
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
in the day.
I love it.
Which is my favorite thing about it.
Yeah.
I
But
can almost
yeah,
feel it. I don't know. Like, I feel what she's talking about a little bit.
Right.
I've never been there, but I felt it. Like I felt
Yeah.
it when we went to that hotel in Salem. Like I walked in, I'm like, holy crap, this is like old school.
yeah, yeah. The place is just amazing. But it's in Conneaut Lake, PA,
Mhm.
and it sits right on Conneaut Lake.
Nice.
So, like, when you're at the hotel, you can walk out front and like the lake is right there.
Oh, that's cool.
It's absolutely beautiful. So yeah, it's about 10 minutes from me. So it's
Oh, nice.
always my go-to. It's like my home away from home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do they let people sleep there that are not like ghost hunting?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
It's an active hotel, as in, they have guests there that aren't even investigators. It just, they vacation there. But it's not like other places, and this is why I think it's such a gem, is if you go there and you rent, a room for the weekend, you have the free will to walk around the entire hotel. If you want to investigate, you can, as long as you're not, disrespecting other guests
Right.
or anything like
Mhm.
that. A lot of the hotel you can get to, and if, like, if you're staying on the first floor and you go up to the third floor to investigate, I mean, there's like 3 or 4 different hallways that you could go where nobody would hear you. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's
Right.
pretty open.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you just want to go and rent a room for the weekend and take some of your equipment, they won't stop you. You don't have to pay extra to investigate or anything like that. They're probably one of the most realistic and reasonable places to investigate, because they don't charge those outrageous fees to come
Sure.
investigate. You
Yeah.
rent a
Right.
room and you're on your own. Go have fun. Don't ruin shit.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
That's really cool that
awesome.
they're open to letting you do that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
yeah.
No.
It's funny. I was going to say something off the paranormal because it popped in my head when Angel said she was 48. So I was talking to somebody on the phone at work, and they're like, she was like, yeah, I'm getting older, I'm getting up there. And like, finally it came out. She goes, I'm 47. I was like, oh shit, no, man, you're not old, because I'm 47. I was like, no.
Right.
I was like, oh God.
Yeah, you're old there, buddy. You're in the club. You'll be all right.
Hey, Grandpa.
Yeah.
I'm only a couple years behind you. It's all right.
Yeah.
Is there like specific rooms at Conneaut Hotel that are like the hot bedrooms, or is it the hallways?
Hot
Like,
bedrooms, huh, in a hotel. Huh.
oh yeah, no. I mean, paranormally speaking.
Paranormally speaking? Yes. Okay.
There's been some hot
so-
hallways too. I'm just saying.
So if you watched the episode, I know Gooseberry, you did when they interviewed me. The room that I got locked inside. Okay, so this is everything that they left out of the show. So I'll tell you what happened. My best friend EJ, my friend Ruth, and I were in the fireplace room at the hotel. It was 5 o'clock in the morning. We were having a convention there that weekend.
Right, Tony.
But we were having so much activity that we just couldn't leave. And 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, okay, I got to get up in a few hours. I got to do a lecture at this convention. I got to be at the hotel. So I say to the spirits, okay, guys, I need to get some sleep. I'm going to go back to my room. But do you have any messages for anybody? And at the time, we were using the spirit or the Phasma box, which is like the spirit box. Mm-hmm. Your voices came through clear as day. Thank goodness we recorded it. But when I said, do you have any messages? I need to go to bed. A man comes through and says, no, stay the whole weekend. And then a woman comes through and says, investigate. Clear as day.
Wow.
So we all looked at each other because we all heard the same thing. And I'm like, wow, okay. I'm sorry, but I can't stay up. I have to get some sleep. I said, but I was like, this is your last chance because I'll be going home after the convention tomorrow.
Yeah.
So nothing else is said. We close up shop. Everybody goes to bed. I go back to my room, which is room 84. And I close the door. I go to bed. I get up 3 hours later to go out and get some coffee. And I discover I'm locked inside my room.
Oh, shit.
And I'm like shaking the door. I'm trying to move the deadbolt. Nothing is budging, and I cannot get out of this room. So 5 minutes go by of me trying to get out, and I'm like beating on the door, yelling, seeing if somebody would hear me because I'm clear at the end of the hallway on the first floor. Of course, nobody was around, so nobody heard me. So I got on my cell phone and I called the manager at the front desk. I said, Bonnie, you're not going to believe this, but I'm locked inside the room. She's like, oh, we'll just come out and get a key. She thought I meant I was locked outside. I said, no, baby girl. I need you to come down here with the key. I am locked inside. She said, what do you mean? Bonnie, get your key and come down here. I am locked inside my room. They will not let me out. She says, okay. So a couple minutes later, I could hear her coming down with the master set of keys, right? Mm-hmm. I could hear the keys jingling. And now, mind you, there's no way possible that if she was trying to put the key in, that I would be able to turn it from the inside. If you saw the locks on the rooms, you would understand what I mean by that. Okay, so she says, Angel, they wouldn't even let me put the key in. And I'm watching the chamber around the deadbolt spinning. They wouldn't let her put the key in.
Oh my God.
So she says, Angel, I'm not quite sure what to do. She's like, I'm kind of freaking out. And I was like, you? I'm the one stuck inside the damn room. What are you freaking out about? She's like, I've heard these locks move before, but I've never seen one do this before. So I was like, all right, we got to figure out something because I'm not jumping out this window. My ass is not going to make it. So we got to figure out something. So I heard her put her hand on the outside of the door and she says to the spirits, okay, guys, I love Angel too, but you cannot keep her. Please let her out.
Wow.
She steps back, she puts the key in, and she turns the lock. Like, I mean, and it was smooth. There was no, hesitation, no nothing. She turned that key and let me out. And I was like, holy shit. I've never, ever,
Right.
ever been locked inside of a hotel room before. They were
Yeah.
not letting me
Yeah.
get. So when I get up to the convention, I'm telling EJ and Ruth what happened. And
Yeah.
EJ's like, dude, what did they say? And I was like, oh, that's right. That recorder, that, the Phasma thing.
Yeah.
They said, no, stay the whole day and investigate. They were not joking. Like, lock me inside my damn room. I'm like, this is wow.
Wow.
That's
Yep,
awesome.
yep. But
And
on
scary.
the show, Jason asked me if I thought it was my grandmother that locked me in.
Yeah.
And I did answer that, but they cut it out in the show, which I was kind of upset about. But
Yeah.
and it wasn't his fault. He doesn't do the editing, so
Right.
it wasn't his fault. But he asked me that, and instead of putting in what I said, they jumped to me saying, well, there's just too much here to deny it. I never ever said my grandmother lost. It
Yeah.
wasn't her. There's a man there that follows me around. We've actually got him sitting on my lap, dancing in front of me, holding my hand. We've captured this on video.
Wow.
And he that night when I was laying down was breathing in my ear.
Oh.
So it was the man that always follows me, and I know he's
Yeah.
the one that locked me in there. My grandmother wouldn't have done that, but they cut
Right.
that out of
Right.
the show. It made me feel bad because I'm like, here's millions of people think that my grandmother locked me in this hotel room, and it wasn't her. It just wasn't her. She wouldn't do that.
Right.
So yeah, that was a crazy. So room 84, definitely. Yeah, that room is crazy. And then up on the third floor, 321 and 323. Those are the, as Goose put it, hot rooms. They're the suite up on the third floor, and they're fairly active, but you could ask anybody that's been there with me. It really doesn't matter wherever I'm at. That's where the activity is. I mean, we've captured too much to even deny that. Like, that's not me being cocky. That's literally,
Right.
I walk in there and they just, boom, they're hovering. We've
Yeah.
captured twins, 2 sets of the same size children walking on both sides of me. And
Wow.
I'm walking through the main lobby, and Ruth has her SLS camera. And she's like, just walk around, see
Yeah.
if they follow you. And I got up and walked around, and they both stayed to my hips, on both sides of my hips, and walked with me. 2 different figures.
Oh wow.
So, I mean, it doesn't matter. If wherever I'm at in there, they just kind of show up.
That's really cool.
Wow.
I gotta get my ass out there and stop
Yeah.
talking about it and do it.
Yep.
I got locked in the house once.
Oh,
we were,
wow.
House?
By
with
ghosts?
my ex-wife. We were looking at houses to buy, and we were at this house that obviously the people just passed away.
Mm.
Yeah.
All their clothes were still in the closets. Their stuff
Oh,
was
wow.
there. And I was like, yeah, I'm not really sure about this house. Not even that. I was like, I don't like the way it looks. Like
Yeah.
something was, the bathroom or something.
Yeah.
We go out. We couldn't get out. Even the realtor couldn't move the door. So I was like, you know what? I kind of like this house. But
Stop.
yep, I am not joking, because we were all looked at each other, and I was like, okay. Nowadays,
Beautiful
I would have
house.
bought that house, but
Right. And you're going to meet me so many years later
right.
and get into this. Yeah.
But yeah, it was so weird until I said I take it back, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Mhm.
Ghosts
Freaked
are the
me out.
craziest
Oh my
people.
gosh, it's already-
What's that?
They're so fun. It's already 9:50.
Oh shit. Is this wow.
I know.
Damn.
So I feel
Has
like we need
anybody
to
checked the game? Is by any chance Tom Brady getting his ass kicked? Please say yes.
Oh, it's Thursday. They started today, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yes,
gosh,
dude.
yeah.
That's what I was like. Goose is so lucky that I love him.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
I would have even still dealt with it because
Yeah,
it was.
because it's not just. I mean, she loves
like
the
the first
Steelers, but
game.
she loves football. Like she
Oh
doesn't.
my God!
I know.
Yeah.
If the
I see her
Steelers aren't
post, and
on,
I'm like,
she's watching another game.
yeah.
Yeah, yep. I have the Sunday NFL ticket. I have the Red Zone. I got it all, baby. I don't miss
Yeah.
nothing. Miss no games.
And he plays for Tampa Bay now, right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Who,
Yes, he
Brady?
does.
Yeah.
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 Who are they playing today?
Dallas.
Oh,
Playing Dallas
the
and
return of Dak Prescott, huh?
second
Yep.
quarter, their Buccaneers are winning 21-16.
Oh, I was
Oh,
just
that's
thinking-
not bad. That's
Yeah,
not
that's
bad.
not bad.
It's only the end of the. It's 2 minutes left in the second quarter, so there's
That's
still
not
a whole
bad.
half.
That's still
to
in
play.
reach.
Yeah.
Oh.
The Browns have a tough one coming up Sunday.
No,
Oh
I'd
my
be
God,
all right.
it's Kansas City. Y'all are toast. Well,
Kansas
not
City
y'all.
in Kansas
Yeah,
City.
they're
It's going to be. If they win that, I'm going to be rooting for them. Obviously, I mean, I'm like, I hate being so like middle of the road because my whole family
not.
are all Browns fans, like in this house. So like, and they are the hometown. As long as they're not playing the Steelers, go Browns. But when they play the Steelers, it's like World War III in here. It's no any respect for each other goes out the window. It's like no holds barred in this house. It's crazy.
You know, my mom's the same way. She'll like say, "Well, if the Browns aren't playing, not the Steelers though." Oh God, no. But like, if another team's playing, she'll like, "I'll root for them." I'm like, no.
Yeah.
It's only
Well,
Cleveland.
I was watching a Browns game with my buddies we used to go to my buddy's house, to his dad's house, and watch the Browns games every weekend.
Mm.
And there was like one other guy that we were friends with that was a Steelers fan. So like Browns Steelers games were like crazy.
Mhm.
But if I saw the Browns make a good play, I mean, I gotta respect them. That's a good play. I mean, that you guys burnt us bad. And I said something, well, fucking Pittsburgh deserved to lose that yard or what. I don't remember what it was, but he's like looking at me like, what the fuck is your problem? And he's like getting all pissed, like seriously, like he was going to beat my ass for even saying it. I'm like, yeah, I'm a fan, but you got to give props where props are,
Right.
It's
All
like,
right,
I
I'll
love
give props, but I won't root for another team.
Well, no, yeah, but I admit I root for the Browns when they're not playing the Steelers because they're obviously the home team. But
Well, because you have no choice. It's probably on your screen.
yeah, right. But I'm like I can watch pretty much any football game and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And we're starting to with my daughter kind of almost like next year she goes into high school, so we're going to be into high school football, especially local, because she's going to be she's with the band and everything. So.
Mhm.
They've been going to the Cuyahoga Falls game, and I've been getting them on that one too because like Stowe, Cuyahoga Falls, that's like the Browns and Steelers playing. So because my nephew is on the Cuyahoga Falls team. He's like the quarterback. So my wife like gets a fat head of him. She's going to the Cuyahoga Falls games. I'm like, what the hell's your problem? We're Stowe people. You root for Bulldogs, not the Black Tigers. I know, and I'm mostly picking on her, but I do feel like she's kind of traded. She's like a bit of a traitor.
I mean, is she wearing shirts and shit? Like,
yeah, she got a shirt.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I'm like, you can't have a Stowe shirt
no,
and a Cuyahoga Falls shirt in the same drawer. Sorry, just they can't touch.
No.
There's so many schools in Akron. I don't even know who to root for.
And they shut a lot of them down, so it's like you don't know. Like I don't know what Akron is. Yeah, Hoban, but they're like they're basically
that's about the only team that I've heard of.
Yeah,
Hoban.
And they're like a private school, so obviously like they're like the best in the Akron area. So I don't know, but yeah, it's go Steelers.
Yeah, baby.
I can't wait to watch actual. I'm surprised we watched so much preseason football. To be honest with you, I don't think we missed a Browns preseason football game.
Yeah, I don't miss the preseason. That's what that post that I made about it. It's more than just a game because I was trying to hurry up and get something done, and somebody made the mistake of saying to me, "Well, it's just a preseason game." I was like, "No, it's not just a preseason game. Like for me, that's my opportunity to see the babies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
And them dudes fight like hell. The hits are harder because they're fighting for their jobs. So
absolutely.
The competitiveness.
Yeah.
Why would you not watch preseason? Makes no sense to me.
Yeah, they're really going after each other, man. Because you're right. They either want to be on that team or they want tape to show another team.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. So real quick, I wanted to, before we sign off, Tony had one more question about Conneaut.
Okay.
He wanted to know if you know anything about two little girls that died near there, late 1800s, early 1900s, at Conneaut by the water. Do you know anything about this?
No.
Okay. All right.
No.
Uncle Guido, lay off the ganja. I don't know what you're talking about. No, he'll love you, man. There might be something to it. I don't know if that's something that he dug up or maybe Kathy
I mean,
was
back
picking
then,
up on.
it's not like they had lifeguards and
Right,
whatnot.
yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of people lost their lives in that lake, and
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
the mafia had ties, and
Right.
there's
Oh,
bodies in the
okay.
lake that were
Oh boy.
taken care of, you
Oh, wow.
know.
Okay.
So, yeah, so I mean,
Gotcha.
it wouldn't surprise me, but as far as like articles or any documentation, I haven't seen anything like that. No.
Okay. There you go, Tony. Something to look into.
Right?
Well, plus we also got to give Angel
Yeah, you
time
gotta give
to
her props
let us.
up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what do you got going on? You got to tell us how people can find you.
It's the last minute wrap up where you give us all your information so we know where to find you and what you got coming up. Basically what just Denise said. I don't know why I repeated it.
Thanks.
So it's just the
Pretty
last
good
bit
one.
of time where we want to know what you have going on and what you have going in the future.
Pretty much as far as events, go, just Dead Con. That's next month. And then after that, I'm hibernating and I'm gonna watch football and I'm gonna finish my books because I made a personal goal of 50 books by the time I was 50. About ready to put my 46th out this weekend. So I got 4 to go. My 50th book, I have made the decision that it's going to be a book about the Hotel Cognac. I've written
Nice.
about the hotel in my other books, but nothing that just featured the hotel itself.
Cool.
So that's going to wrap up my personal goal of 50 books is the Hotel Cognac book.
Nice.
So other than that, just I'm going to hibernate and because like I said, I live in the snow belt. I don't have a choice.
Right.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
yep, get ready for the spring. That's about it for me.
We kind of go into a mini hibernation too.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of ghost hunting going on around that. I mean, well, shit, there's really not been a whole lot of ghost hunting going on this year, period, unfortunately. But
Right. No, it's been too sketchy with the virus and
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, and I feel like I'm working every other weekend, and it's just not been conducive to doing what we love,
right.
unfortunately. But
Yeah, and I can't do it in the winter months. It's that cold air gets to my bones and
yeah.
bones,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
over. So
yeah, it doesn't feel great on my body either. It's a lot of pain and
Just cold. I don't like cold.
Yeah,
yeah, me
it
neither.
hurts.
But yeah, you can find me on Facebook at Angel Ray, the number 11 after it. That's my author's page on Facebook. You can get me on Twitter at Angel Ray 73. And then I'm on TikTok too. Haven't figured that shit out yet. Oh my God, my brain hurts. Oh my God, there's too much to play with on TikTok. My brain is on overload with it, but I am on there. I'm an Enchanted Conduit on TikTok. So that's how you can find me.
Awesome.
Very
cool. Well, thank you so
and
much.
your books
Good luck
are on
with everything.
Amazon.
Yes.
Yep. And then if you go to my author's page on Facebook at Angel Ray 11, they're in the pinned post. All of my titles are there in a list. So all you have to do is click on the link and it'll take you right to it.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to hear.
Easy navigation. That's what I like.
Or your Paraerotica.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Angel. It was awesome as usual. And
take care. Stay safe.
You too. Enjoy DeadCon coming up and get those books out, and then start gathering your berries and nuts and everything for the winter. Get ready for the big hibernation. And thank you so much for coming on again. Next year we got to plan it. We'll plan it and have it ready. We'll get something scheduled for next year at Conneaut. We're gonna do it.
Okay.
And if I got to take time off, I'd rather go during the week like you suggested, when nobody's really there. We'll figure it out.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But I'll have more PTO to play with next year, so some of those things can happen.
Let's do
I'm
it.
ready whenever you are.
Let's do it. Maybe a Thursday night.
Oh, for the Thursday.
As
Yeah.
long as there's no football on.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Have fun at DadCon, and we'll spook you later, Crypto Heads. What
All
we say every Thursday night?
It was good talking
Don't.
to you guys.
Thank you.
Do
Bye.
Don't
Be an asshole.
All right. We love you, everybody.
We
Not
love
you.
you guys.
Not you, Angel.
I know. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good night.